Rodman, 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 Rodman. We are back again. This is the PHIN Outta Water Football Podcast. I am your host with the most, P Herbo, and I got my brother from another Rodman in the building with me. Let me just go ahead and get that adjusted. You feel me? So I'm looking nice, prim, and proper. My co-host, the best co-host in the world, Rodman, is in the building. Rodman, what is going up on this incredible
Herbito,
Monday?
Herbito, man, what's good, bro? How was your
Man,
weekend, bro?
my weekend was good. Your weekend seems like it was significantly better than mine because you can't even talk. Your voice is gone. You was out here
No,
partying.
you
You was
know
out
what?
here
I was
living
I was a
life.
little sick, bro.
I can hear it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That weather change whooping your ass, man. God
whooping my
damn.
ass. Florida ain't used to this, man.
At all, man, at all, man. So let's go ahead and give people the rundown, man. So this is the PHIN Outta Water Football Show. This is the off-season portion, and like we say, and we're gonna keep saying it for the foreseeable future, we are stretching that dope, guys. I promise you, we're stretching that dope. This offseason, especially for a team that's mediocre as the Miami Dolphins, ain't a lot going on. So what we're going to try to do is try to give you as much Dolphins-centered conversations as we can, speaking like with today. So I wanted to go ahead and just look at some headlines on the Fin side or just react to some things that we haven't gotten to up in this point because it has been some decent things that's going on as far as free agency and the Super Bowl, post-Super Bowl, and all that crap. So I want to do a little bit of house cleaning. Also, I want to react to something that we heard from Teron Armstead. If anybody knows, if you're a Dolphin fan, you know that, former great offensive lineman for the New Orleans Saints and former part-time great offensive lineman for the Miami Dolphins
Keyword,
whenever he decided
keyword part time.
whenever
Part
he
time.
decided to play. But he said something, and I saw the quote, so I don't know if it was from his podcast. More than likely it was from his podcast because everybody has a podcast nowadays, where he talked about that 2023 Miami Dolphins team and how good he felt about it and how what he felt like should have been a Super Bowl team. So we're going to go ahead and discuss that. Also, we are going to have a discussion around this upcoming NFL draft and then just how we feel about certain prospects. Rod is going to talk about some Dolphin targets. I'm going to talk about the top of the wide receiver class and why I think it's ultimately underwhelming. And lastly, and absolutely least, we are going to talk about this disaster, this embarrassment, this debacle that is the upcoming Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao rematch. We have fallen so far as a society, dog. We just love freak shows too much in America, dog. Honestly, bro. But let's go ahead and get to it, right, man. Talking Dolphins. Talking Dolphins, man. So, right, man, we are in the midst of the driest season of the driest portion of the offseason, bro. We are after the Super Bowl. We are technically in free agency, but there's no reason to sign anybody because you got plenty of time to sign people.
Right.
The day that you have to designate a tag, whoever you're tagging, ain't till next week. The combine ain't started.
You know who really suffers during this time of year? ESPN.
Yeah, man,
ESPN.
it's been rough watching
Like,
ESPN,
like, like,
man.
like they start like bringing up stuff like, did you see this guy's tweet? You know. Oh,
It's rough.
but before we get started, this has nothing to do with the Dolphins. I just want to give my condolences to Rondale Moore,
Yeah,
who
for sure,
passed away this
absolutely,
who passed away this
absolutely,
weekend. I didn't want to
absolutely.
forget about that, bro, because another young player who, from what I read, I don't know if there's anything that's been updated from yesterday, but it's apparently a suicide. I'm not
Yeah, it
sure
was a
if
suicide.
any more details.
From all
Allegedly.
I've seen, it was a suicide, one shot to the head, allegedly. But yeah, from
Dang.
what I read, and it was like when you sent it to me, and this is I'm gonna just be frank, right? I don't. It's gonna sound like I'm cold, and it's gonna sound like I'm being insensitive, and I don't want to step on what you're trying to say. I just want to get my point of view out there first, right? And we might as well get this out of the way before because the rest of the show should be lighthearted. It's gonna be a lighthearted conversation,
Right.
but I was like, I felt bad, but I also felt worse about the fact that this is going to be out of our minds by next week, which is the saddest part of everything.
Yep.
The cycle is going to continue. The show is going to go on. The marching band is still going to march. This is going to get lost. You're going to see R.I.P. Rondell Moore for like a week, maybe a couple more days at best. And then the combine. The combine starts tomorrow. You're not even going to see his name anymore tomorrow. And that's really the saddest part about that, right? I just remember Rondell Moore being somebody who Sam Monson, if you don't know who Sam Monson is, he was somebody that was formerly on PFF. Now check the mic with his co-host. What's his co-host name again?
I always remember Sam's name, but not
yeah, right. I always remember Sam.
Yeah. Even from Pro Football Focus days.
Right. I always remember Sam Monson, but I remember the draft that Rondell Moore came out. If it was 4 years ago, it'll probably been the 2021 draft, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or 2022 draft. And he was just the hugest Rondell Moore fan. And because I had such a I revered Sam's opinion on wide receivers so much, I became a Rondell Moore fan. And I went and watched him. And ultimately, his career just didn't pan out. He was on 4 teams in 4 years. And I don't know what was going through his mind. Obviously, he was fighting demons. But he succumbed to his depression, and that it just sucks, man. Go ahead, Rod.
No, I mean, yeah, it's listen, man, when these things happen, you brought up a chilling point. The fact that we live in such a fast news cycle based society, right? Like, just look, and this is a little off topic, but just look how desensitized we are to school shootings.
Yeah.
Right? Like there was a time where when Columbine happened, that shit it lasted in people's minds for years. Right? It was the primary thing, but now these things have become so free. They have school shooter drills down here in Florida. They have school shooter drills, man.
And you have to at this point.
And that's the thing. It's
you
better
never
you
know.
prepare. It's better you be prepared to not be prepared, right? So, but anyway, not to trail too far, man. I just wanted to just give my condolences, man. Another young potential soul lost, someone who knows what demons he was fighting, who knows what he was going through, but hopefully he's in a better place, man.
No, absolutely, man. So, let's go ahead and transition over to that and just get in some Dolphin headlines. So, what I want to do with this, because none of these headlines, put it like this, it's so bad right now. When I did NFL news, first thing I seen was where is Alec Pierce gonna go, and is Jadeveon Clowney gonna get tagged? I was like, yuck, it's bad. It's bad. So I just want to go ahead and blitz through a couple of headlines on the PHIN Outta, which is the SB Nation of the Miami Dolphins, one of the fan sites, one of the bigger community sites that the Dolphins have, right? And I just want you to give me like a quick one-word response, one sentence response. We don't got to go through it, but I just want to get your unfiltered opinion on some of these things. I didn't ask you what any of these were, so we're going to get the unfiltered, like right on the spot opinion from you, Rod. So, going ahead, Rod. This is one of the headlines from PHIN Outta. Miami Dolphins rumors 2026. Is Malik Willis the next Matt Flynn?
Shout out to Happy Evelyn for those words of encouragement. Yes, I'm always a fan of that. I love the positivity on this.
We love it, man. We love it,
even when it's negative positivity.
Hey, listen.
Yes, bring it.
We here, man.
Listen, Herbie, if you're asking me if Malik Willis is going to be the next Matt Flynn, then my answer to you is I hope it's not here because Matt Flynn went and didn't do shit.
So, right, and that's part of the reason why. So the question under the headline is: should Miami Dolphin fans be weary that Malik Willis turns into the next Matt Flynn? Right, like this guy's about to get maybe $40 to $60 million from 7 games starting.
Herbie,
I repeat,
Herbie, if you're telling me that's the going price,
yeah,
not for 7 games, Herbie. No,
bro. Think about this. Justin Fields got $40 million, $30 million guaranteed because he had one good game against Aaron Glenn's defense last year, and Aaron Glenn was like, "This guy has to be the future." He tore up my defense. The whole time, Aaron Glenn just sucks his defense this whole time, bro. He came to Jets and was ass regardless. So if Justin Fields got $40 million, $30 million guaranteed, Malik Willis is at minimum getting 45 to 50, and I'm going to say 50
You
is
know
the
what?
baseline.
When you compare him to Fields, if you ask me right now who I think is better, I would say I would, even though his sample size is a lot smaller. I mean, Malik Willis, even in his short stints in Green Bay, has shown way more promise on a consistent basis in terms of how much he's played, right? So yeah, all right, but dude, if I don't know, man. I mean, for us to pay that amount of money, Herbie, this got to work out at this point.
Yeah, and
It has to work out.
this is where it gets really weird. I don't know what I'm so confused with the Dolphins. Like, and again, I guess it's just the media. The media is doing a hell of a job of just trying to just throw smoke screens, or either these guys are very button lipped and they're throwing a lot of misdirections out there and it's fucking my head up, or these guys have absolutely no plan, because you cannot tank and then go give $50 million to a quarterback that you think could be the quarterback of the future. Right. Those can't go. They can't coexist. They can't coexist. Now, I don't know if it's Malik Willis's agent using the Miami Dolphins as leverage, saying, hey, connecting the dots, look at all these people that is from the Green Bay Packers. It's a great fit. The media is obviously running with that story, but we are of the position that the Dolphins are going to be bad. Based off of what they're doing, based off of the cap cuts that they've made, based off of the fact that they're potentially going into the season with $100 million in dead cap. I just can't see, or I don't understand the purpose of getting a bridge quarterback who has the potential to be a starting caliber quarterback when you have $100 million in dead cap.
Especially when you consider the fact that we have an opportunity. Listen, I'm not someone who ever wants to tank, right? Like, right. Nobody wants to spend an entire football season watching their team lose. With that being said, Herbie, this 2027 quarterback class is supposed to be pretty special.
It's way better than this one.
And I was going to say, outside of Mendoza, Herbie, what quarterback is a day one quarterback in this draft class? That you
not a one. Now, granted,
we even debate Mendoza. The Raiders are going to throw him into the fire, but you could debate him too.
And you know what? I'll say this. Even with last year, nobody would have thought Tyler Shough would have been a day one starter. But Tyler Shough had real talent. Tyler Shough is 6'5". Tyler Shough is 225. Tyler Shough has a rocket. None of these dudes have that. Garrett Nuttmeyer don't have a great arm. Ty Simpson looked like he's scared of his own shadow towards the end of the season. So, yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right. I didn't even think that was – honestly, I didn't think we were going to pull that much out of that conversation. But there was a lot actually to talk about that. That was actually an interesting topic. All right, next one for you, Rod. Dolphins exploring trade of Minkah Fitzpatrick.
I mean, Herbie, I'm super indifferent about it. Like, at this stage, pretty much, Herbie, the only guy I wouldn't want to lose right now might be Achane, and pretty much everybody else is fair game. Right, like I mean, if we can get something for Minkah, cool. He was a productive player for us last year, so obviously I would like to be able to keep him. But this is interesting, Herbie. Shout out to Happy Evelyn. Vegas has Finn's 4.5 wins over under next season. Ooh, boy, I feel like I'll take that over, bro. We can get 5 wins, man. We can get 5.
Okay, so that's actually interesting, right?
We can get 5.
NFL season. Fill a bus for me right quick while I pull this up. NFL season.
I mean, NFL. Listen, man. What was the question you asked me for before? What was the last one?
Oh, no. I actually got another question for you right here. Bet. Why you can fill a bus while I pull this up, because I want to see who we in competition with to get less than 5 wins. All right, Miami Dolphins fans are so on so many Green Bay Packers coaching hires. Matter of fact, where is the actual quote? Let me see. Okay, Miami Dolphin fans on the effects of hiring so many staff members from the Green Bay Packers.
Well, Herbie, I think when it comes to the fan base, there are many Dolphin fans. I mean, fans are pretty split on it from this standpoint. You have people who don't really care for the fact that you have all these guys who they're like work buddies who are all coming to the same work, to the same new job together, right? And even though the Packers have been a pretty damn good organization, Herbie, they don't have a consistent track of winning championships like the Patriots or the Chiefs, right? Like, Brett Favre won a Super Bowl all those years ago. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. And in between, the Packers have had a lot of talented teams with their great quarterbacks, but, they just didn't get over the hump a lot of times. But I think a lot of people, they see, oh, well, all the buddies are all, the Brady bunch is coming here, but, they didn't really accomplish a lot over there. And then you have other fans, Herbie, who are thinking to themselves, well, these guys, they actually have a blueprint as opposed to all the guys that we had who had no plan. Chris Greer didn't really have a plan, which we could debate that with the TA conversation, but
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, at least we know that John Eric Sullivan, Jeff Hafley, they have a system in place. They have a protocol that they follow. And just knowing that they have direction is a sense of comfort for certain fans. So I would say fans are pretty split on, the way that has worked out so far.
Okay, all right. So I actually got the over-unders pulled up right now. Okay, so you're not gonna believe who the Dolphins are in competition with. Basically, Vegas is saying the Miami Dolphins are gonna have the worst record in the league.
Like that?
Yes, the bottom three is the Miami Dolphins, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals and the Miami Dolphins, as of today, on this date, which is February 23rd, 2026, are tied for an over-under of 4.5 wins. The Las Vegas Raiders they got them projected at over-under of 5.5. And then the next lowest is going to be the Cleveland Browns that are tied with the Tennessee Titans at 6.5. They saying y'all finna be 2 games worse than the Browns and the Titans, dog. Woo-wee, let's go.
I'm taking the over, bro. The Dolphins love being 500 too much to be that bad, bro.
Dog, but you have to be bad. You have this is what happened, bro.
But here's the thing, though, Herbie. 5 wins is if the Dolphins are the third pick in the draft with 5 wins. That's
what does it matter? What does it matter to win 5 games outside of pride?
No, just Herbie, go. I don't care. I don't
care. I get you. You're saying that the Dolphins cannot override their natural born destiny to get as close to 500 as possible, is what you're saying.
Well, let me say this, Herbie. There is, and I'm not banking on this scenario, but there is this weird, whenever there are teams that people sometimes expect to be terrible, they're right. And then there are times where you expect the team to be terrible, and depending on the moves John Eric Sullivan makes, depending on how much of an impact Jeff Hafley has as a head coach, the Dolphins could end up being a little better or maybe a lot better than people think. Now, with that being said, Herbie, my hopes ain't high. You know what I'm saying? But 5 wins, I'll drop some money on that over.
Man, I want you guys to win 1 game. I want you guys to have the first pick. I want you guys to be truly in charge of your own destiny, dog. Like, that's all I want. Because if y'all would have did that, you guys would have had Joe Burrow.
Herbie, the last 2 times the Dolphins sucked for somebody, tanked for somebody, in a weird way, we kind of succeeded with the tank for Tua, but we could have had Joe Burrow. And with the suck for luck, if people remember, the Dolphins started 0-7 that season. And we finished 7-9. So, Herbie, the Dolphins don't really do a good job of tanking when they're supposed to tank. They start off the race incredibly. And then as the season goes on, they say, hey, maybe we can win a few games and get close.
Oh, my God. Bro. Listen,
I don't know.
I even think next year's draft with quarterbacks is overrated. I think it is. But it's a lot more talented people. It's just people that you really have building blocks. Listen, we were incredibly, and deservedly so, very, 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 very critical of Arch Manning. Needless to say, he played a lot better towards the end of the season. I still am very, very concerned about him because if you're going to be that dude, you shouldn't be that scared of the pressure to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. But there's people that have actual building blocks. Lenore Sellers is somebody you could build around. Like there's actual people with real NFL talent. Just be bad, dog. Just be bad. Just be bad.
I don't entirely.
Jeremiah Smith is in next year's draft. Be bad, dog. Be bad.
Fair enough.
Be bad. Okay, let's go ahead and transition though, and flip the conversation of the Dolphins being very, very bad to when the Dolphins were considered to be very, very good. And when I'm saying considered to be very, very good, I'm talking about in regards to somebody who did actually play for a team that got to see the team up close, that got to see the team every day. Somebody who's been in the league a long time, a true veteran who knows what a quality football team is. And that is what Teron Armstead has to say about a specific team. The specific team that I'm talking about is that 2023 Miami Dolphins team. Teron Armstead feels like that was a Super Bowl winning team that should have won a Super Bowl. And I wanted to ask you your opinion on that, Rod. Somebody who is a diehard Dolphins fan, somebody who, when we were doing this podcast, had an incredible amount of enthusiasm for that 2023 team. And I just want to go ahead and revisit that. So what were your overall thoughts when you saw that quote from Teron Armstead, Rod?
If I were to use one word, reaching, my friend. You're reaching. But, listen, Herbie, I appreciate Teron Armstead's. I appreciate his loyalty and he has he represents the Dolphins well. Like, even though he didn't play for us as long as he played for the Saints, you can tell he liked playing here. And I will say this: I don't believe the Dolphins were a Super Bowl team, Herbie, and I say that not just because of how it transpired and the injuries, but a Super Bowl team has a certain character to them, and the thing about that Dolphins team, Herbie, they never ever once displayed the character of real toughness. They were talented, you know what I'm saying? At times, I mean, that was a team that scored 70 points. They had the opportunity to break the record, right? But this was a team that, when the going got tough, Herbie, they folded quite a bit. And even though I think they would have performed better if they were healthier down the stretch and against some of the better competition, I mean, as good as that Dolphins team was, Herbie, they might have gotten a playoff win, best case scenario. I don't think this team would have gone on and went on a deep playoff run if they were healthy. I really don't. Considering the teams that were in the playoffs that year, too, the Ravens at the peak of their powers, the Chiefs, you know what I mean? The Bills, I mean, excuse me, y'all.
You good.
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, I appreciate the positivity in what he said, and there was some merit to what he said, Herbie, especially when we lost Connor Williams. Like, our offense really changed quite a bit because he really was the anchor for us, especially in the running game. But it's unfortunate that team couldn't stay healthy, and we talk about it all the time. The NFL's a war of attrition.
Yeah, for sure.
Oftentimes, the healthiest teams are the ones that have the best chance of winning, and it just didn't shake that way. But even if that Dolphins team was healthy, Herbie, let's say they get past somebody in the first round. Let's say they would have beat Buffalo in the first round. Had we won the division like we were supposed to, then the next round you get the Ravens, and the Ravens that season had a historic defense, Herbie. So you know what I mean? Like that would have been, that year in the playoffs would have been a tough call for us. But at best case scenario, Herbie, that 23 team probably wins a playoff game. But I do, I will say one final thought, and that's probably, Herbie, the closest in my lifetime watching the Dolphins. That's the closest that I've ever seen the Dolphins to being that good. Like, that was a team that early in the season you thought, damn, like they could be a contender in the AFC early in the season before the injuries and all that. But, it is what it is. That's how it is. That's how it ends.
So there's two things I want to go ahead and address. I want to have a couple of tidbits from his actual quote because it's a long quote. So I don't want to just read the whole thing. Right. But I'll say this first before I get to the quote. One, it's rare that a player that didn't play for the Miami Dolphins reps Miami like he does. Normally, it's like the opposite.
Yeah, they usually trash us. They trash Miami.
Yeah. So either you're a lifer like a Pat Surtain or somebody who was born and bred here like a Zach Thomas or a Jason Taylor. But if you're somebody who was a pro at another team and you're a pro bowler from another team and you just come here, you just trash the Dolphins. You like living in Miami because those guys don't leave. And Ndamukong Suh's still here. All those guys are still here. But they just trash the Dolphins. This guy, I think he might say, man, I'm going to retire a Dolphin the way he be talking about the Dolphins and stuff like that. So I want to go ahead and show love to him in that regard. But here's some things about the quote that I found very interesting. So this is what he says, and the reason why I want to pick this out is because it speaks to the psyche of football players. Like football players, whether they're right or wrong, they know when they're on a good team or a team that they should believe in. They're either there to really see it through because they believe in what's going on, or they're there just to get a paycheck. And this is the quote that lets me know that he actually believed in his team. And it just sucks. All we got from it is to be able to say that we ain't get a chance to go out and do it and prove it. But that's the funny thing about sports, man. All we get from it is memories. We do have the success. We do have the failures. We had too. We got to appreciate all of it. But I think it was a Super Bowl team. In his mind, bro, that was a Super Bowl team, right? Like he talks about the torn this and season injuries, like stuff that you couldn't come back from. And it was true devastating injuries that derailed them. In his mind, bro, they were going to hold the Lombardi Trophy in 2023.
I mean,
Herbie, disagree.
In fairness to Teron Armstead, and this is a huge stretch because, but the healthiest we were was the 70-point game.
Yeah, that's fact.
The 70-point game was the healthiest we were in the entire season. So that speaks to like if you think of your peak when you have all your horses and that's your peak, I think it's easy to feel like damn, like it's a missed opportunity because we just lost a lot of guys.
Think about this, and not to cut you off, but I want to interject this point. How many professional football players have ever played a game where their team has scored 70 points?
None.
So I can't blame this nigga for thinking that was gonna win a Super Bowl. He probably ain't been a part of a 70-point win since high school, maybe once or twice in college. He's like, I've played my whole life, never been a part of a team that put up 70 points in the NFL against another NFL team. So I understand how he could get to the point where he's like, dog, we put up 70 points healthy. Who's stopping us? Who's beating us? Like the only thing that beat us was injuries. The only thing that beat us was the football gods. But when we was at our healthiest, we put up 7-0, a 70 burger. So I understand how he could get to the point where he felt so positive about this team because 70 points is still pretty crazy. I don't think there's been a 70-point game since.
I mean, I think we went like damn near 50 years between the last one. It was like, Like,
so yeah, I get how he gets to that point, but like you said, football is at the end of the day, it's a game of attrition. Like it ain't about who. It's rarely about who the best team is. It's about who's the healthiest team and who's the right team at the right. Yeah, who survives the season. We award champions by the team that survived the season. It ain't about who the best team is. It's about who was there to finish it, who was there last. That's how we reward champions. So let's go ahead and transition a little bit more into some good old draft talk, right? So matter of fact, I'll take that back. Let's transition over into NFL free agency and tag talk. So discussion post. This is going to be the first discussion. And I wanted to talk about the NFL free agency. And I got to say, Rod, it's a bad NFL free agency, man.
When I was looking up the list of guys, and I was looking up like a top 25, I'm looking like, dude, the top 25, like after a few names, like there was one dude, he had Jalen Phillips as his third ranked. What the fuck? What? If he's your third ranked, Herbie, your list is in trouble. And he's not a bad player, but,
I'm like, dog, it's rough, man. It's rough, bro. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to do this first. I'm going to explain the franchise tag because the game that we're going to play is, I'm going to name a couple people from this top 25 list, and I'm going to ask, would you tag this person, sign this person to an extension, or let this person walk, right? And that's the game I want to play with you, Rod. So if anybody who doesn't understand, the franchise tag is basically a slave chain, if you really want to call it that. Like we could call it a cute name, but it's a slave chain. It's a mechanism to do two things. Make sure that there's no actual real free agency, one. which is the most important part. And two, it is something that is used to control wages. If you see what college football is and how every year these kids are getting paid $5, $6, $10 more million per year, because that's what true free agency is. The NFL was like, nah, we can't have that. We don't trust you owners to behave. So we're gonna create a thing that's gonna make sure that nobody's actually a free agent. A person is only a free agent if a football team doesn't really want that person, right? So there's two ways to keep somebody on your team, whether sign that person to an extension or franchise tag that person. If you choose to franchise tag that person, then you are essentially giving that person a 1-year deal that is at average top 5 or top 3 at their position. So I want to go ahead and look at this because it's going to basically do a breakdown of what would the franchise tag be per position this year. So if you would look right here, what we got is the average salary, basically by position, what each person will make. A quarterback, if you franchise tag a quarterback, whoever it is, that person's getting $47 million. Running back 14, wide receiver 28, tight end 16, offensive lineman 28. Defense about anywhere from 20 to 27 per position. And defensive tackle and defensive end, rounding it out at the highest, they would get the highest franchise tag. So now that we have that established, I want to go ahead and play the game. Rod, and I want you to play the game with the numbers in mind for the position as well. Okay, Rod? If you need me to remind you what it is, we could go back and I'll remind you what the price is. Gotcha. Okay. So first things first, Rod. Kyle Pitts. What you doing with Kyle Pitts, man?
I mean, they franchised him already, but if I would have franchise tagged them if I was the Falcons, and the reason why I say that is because at the end of
the
day,
you could sign him to an extension too. That's
no.
Herbie. Okay, got you.
I'm giving him the franchise tag.
Got you.
His rookie season, he showed you kind of like what you wanted to see. The next 3 years, all you could see were angry Falcon fans every time they mentioned his name. And then last year, in a contract year, he picked up his play. So the franchise tag, I think, fits him perfectly, Herbie, because let me see if you can let me see if I can get 1 more year of that kind of production before I commit to extending you. So I think the Falcons did the right thing.
Yeah, I'm with you with that, man. So franchise tag, that's gonna be $16 million for Kyle Pitts. Next up, George Pickens. What you doing with George Pickens, Rod?
And I actually have the list on my phone right now. The wide receivers get $28 million. I'll say this, Herbie. If I'm the Cowboys, I think I franchise them, bro. I think I franchise. I don't know who else on your team you're working. I don't know who else on the Cowboys you guys are working with, but the way Pickens played for you guys last season. As a matter of fact, Herbie, let me say this: the Steelers were criminals. They were criminally underutilizing this man. Like, we didn't even realize how awesome he was after the catch. The amount of times Dak threw him on a drag or on a slant, and he took it for 20, 30, 40 yards.
To the crib, yeah.
Herbie, I think he's worth at least franchising at least 1 year, bro. I don't know how you feel, but I'd put the tag on him.
I am very happy that you asked. I'm signing him to an extension. We just do it, right?
Yeah. You just want him. Yeah, just take
this it. This is for 2 different reasons. 2 completely different reasons. The financial side, I think it's better to just sign him to an extension because he's so good at football that he doesn't really have to try. Like, the Steelers got tired of him, but they knew how good he was. Like, they know how good he literally is. He might be the best, the greatest catch radius football player I've ever seen in my life. Some of the catches this dude makes is just out of control. And I'm not gonna lie. People could call me blasphemous. People could say I don't care. He's better than CeeDee Lamb.
Man, that's not blasphemy. I think that's debatable 100%.
I'm telling you, as a 100%. Cowboys fan, he's better than CeeDee Lamb. He 100%. Could do everything CeeDee Lamb could do, and CeeDee Lamb can't do everything he could do. You see, listen, you saw how they came for me for Amon St. Brown. I'm sorry, bro. Slot merchants ain't getting no love for me, dog. I like my dudes that are real outside dogs that can play in the slot too. George Pickens is a real outside dog that can play in the slot too. He's a beast from anywhere. And the other reason why I'm saying just sign him is because if you franchise this dude, you're going to lose him. So I would rather you either let him walk away and be the laughing stock or sign him. If you just let him play on a franchise, George Pickens don't care about nothing. I don't think George Pickens care about his mama. He's willing to burn it all down. He's willing to burn it all down. You seen him on draft night, man. Man had a shiesty on draft night, man. This man don't care about nothing. Right, he don't care about nothing. So either you sign him or you let him walk. But if you franchise this man and expect him to ball out on a franchise tag, that dude is going to be a headache, bro. So pick your poison. Pick your poison.
Yeah, you gotta account for the diva side. Yeah.
You 100% gotta do it. And to me, he's so good at football. It's not like, what are we talking about, dog? 1,400 yards, like 93 receptions, and he's so good. He's so good. Like he's ridiculously good, bro. Yeah, sign that man, bro. All right, Breece Hall, Rod. What you doing with Breece Hall?
Damn, you know what? They keep. When I was going through the free agency list, I had a list of guys that I picked that I would franchise, and you're just bringing them all up. Like if I was the Jets, I'll franchise them. Listen, man, Breece Hall is pretty much the engine of your offense if you have the right offensive coordinator. Given the Jets situation, I'd franchise him. Fuck yeah. Let me get another year, you my boy. Let me get another year. You know, with running backs, you never want to. You want to be careful with running backs because they age so quick. But I'd franchise them.
All right, this is where we defer. Bye, Breece. Bye. I'm not giving Breece Hall $14 million. Man, we drafting. It's the draft, man. I can find me somebody. I'm gonna find me a wide running back. You crazy? Giving Breece Hall 14 M's? Breece Hall 14 M's?
I can see the Jets doing it 100%. I
can see the Jets doing it because it's the Jets. They're running. Their GM is the GM's name is Brick Johnson. That's their GM. It's an 18-year-old kid that allegedly they're picking their teams based off of Madden ratings, man. The Jets are liable to do anything, man. They're liable to do anything. So, but me personally, there's no way I could give Breece Hall $14 million. You're out of here, bro. I'm surprised they didn't let him go now. And not for nothing. That's something that's gonna have to. Matter of fact, no. Devon Achane is signed, right? He's signed, right?
No, yeah, he's signed. Yeah, he's signed.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. All right, this is some dude. I don't even know who the hell he is, bro. I'm guessing he's a good football player. I ain't talking about him, bro. Get out of here, man. And last but not least, man, what you doing with Daniel Jones, man? What you are in charge of the Indianapolis Colts. You are the owner, not the crazy lady that likes to be on the sideline. You're a part-time owner. You feel me? You got a couple of stocks in the Colts. What are you doing with Daniel Jones, Rod? Are you giving Daniel Jones minimum $47 million?
I am not giving Daniel Jones coming off of an Achilles where even prior to the Achilles, Herbie, he was starting to unravel a little bit. And that scared me. Like he was starting to kind of come back down to earth and then he got injured. Now, if you ask me what I think the Colts are going to do, I would not be shocked at all if the Colts franchise him, given the fact that prior to the injury, outside of a couple performances, he played pretty well under Shane Steichen. That being said, if you ask me, Herbie, bye-bye, Danny boy. Bye-bye.
All right. I 1,000% agree with you. However, he's getting tagged. He's a quarterback.
I think they will tag him, but I'm not tagging him.
I'm not tagging him either. But it is so scarce that we could watch Daniel Jones underwhelm for his entire New York Giants career, have one good year, get paid, immediately make them regret giving him that contract, be a free agent signing with the Indianapolis Colts for $14 million, by the way. Remember, he only got signed for $14 million. And then be good with a team for 8 weeks, get hurt, be ass, and then get hurt again, and then trick himself into another $50 million bag. It really pays to be a mediocre quarterback, man. It really pays to be a mediocre quarterback. Like
the only other job better is a backup, man. Clipboard.
Bruh, it is. Now, again, this is relatively speaking. Daniel Jones is excellent at his job, relatively speaking. I mean, the skill to even be good enough to trick two teams into giving you $50 million means it's really hard to play the position. I'm saying this in relative to his peers. He is a professional quarterback that can win a game. It's so hard to be a good quarterback, guys. We really don't know what we're watching when we watch this stuff. Mm-hmm. However, you about to trick another team into giving you 50 M's? It can't be me. Can't be me, dog.
Can't be me. Hey, can't be me. And you know that old saying, Herbie? They say a smart man learns from his. Shout out to Happy Evelyn, baby. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that 100%, man. Thank you so much, man. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, Rod. Round of applause and air horns for Happy Element, man. Appreciate that, man. Much love. What were you saying, Rob?
Welcome to the family, baby.
Welcome to the family. But what were you saying, Rob?
But I'll say this, man. They say a smart man learns from his mistakes, Herbie. But a wise man learns from the mistakes of others, Herbie. And I'm a wise man. I like to consider myself. No, say just like the old school Dare commercials, Herbie. Say no to Daniel Jones. Say no, man. Truth, baby. No, sir.
All right. There's no way I can top that. That is hilarious, bro. So let's go ahead and piggyback off of that conversation, bro. Like, there's Kenneth Walker, but I mean, it is what it is. I wanted to talk about the top 25 free agents of this year going into 2026. And Ron, man, it's rough, man. It's a rough NFL draft class. It's a rough free agency class. I think we are secretly in a dry spell for NFL talent. And what's happening is these draft cycles and these free agency cycles, because NFL is something that you got to keep talking about. It's a 24-hour cycle. NFL drives TV ratings, everything. The only way to drive this stuff is to make it feel bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But in reality, there has not been an influx of great offensive talent coming into the league, draft after draft after draft. You're going to have some superstars and like wide receivers, stuff like that. But for the most part, we're watching a bunch of bad draft classes produce ultimately bad free agents. And this class, Rod, oh, God, bro. Yikes. Very unimpressive, man. So starting with 25, Aaron Rodgers at 43 shouldn't be a top 25 free agent, dog. I'm sorry, dog.
Bro, the guy, Herbie, why are they putting skeletons on the list? He's retired. He's not coming back, Herbie. And even if he does, top 25, bro.
And the fact that it's like he's legitimately 25. Like, you could make an argument he's top 20. You could make an argument he's top anywhere from top 15 to top 20. That's sad.
Crazy.
I don't ever want to see Romeo Doubs in the top 25 free agent list, man. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry, dog. No disrespect. Romeo Doubs is a solid player. Should never be in the top. Do you know how many football players are in the NFL? That's 1,500 football players. Romeo Doubs should not be in the top 25 free agent list, dog. I'm sorry. Jawan Jennings. You feel me? I'm gonna skip a lot of the offensive linemen. I'm not savvy on offensive line play, so I'll be respectful to the offensive linemen. I'm not out here digging into ditches knowing who the guards are. I'm sorry. So we'll skip him. Rasheed Walker. I mean, not Rasheed. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Seahawks. He's on here, the Seahawks receiver. Clavion Chasen. Come on, top 20. Clavion Chasen is a top 20 free agent in 2026. Yikes.
Tyreek I get, though.
I like Jamel Dean. That's sad. Tyreek, we understandable. Now we getting into some players. You know, Mike Evans is coming off an injury.
Herbie,
but
if you ask me, I think Mike.
Go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
I think Mike Evans is gonna stay with the Bucs. I think he has so much history there, championship. I don't think he's not gonna leave, bro. He might even give them a discount, to be honest.
Yeah, like what what is Mike Evans gonna do on another team at this point?
Right. Like he's officially a buck.
Like
Like,
you are a all-time buck. You could make the argument that you might be the third or fourth greatest buck of all time. You got Warren Sapp.
Easily.
And after that, it's fair game. Like really, after Warren Sapp, it's fair game.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I think he's better than Simeon Rice. I think as a buck, right. Because he played it so long and he has a championship. You can make the argument he's right there with Rondé Barber as far as who's the better Buccaneer, right? So, yeah, what's the point at this point? Kirk Cousins, man, still getting the bag. That man ain't never going to stop getting them checks, man. 16th best free agent heading into 2026, Rodney. Yikes.
Wow.
We still giving the bag to Khalil Mack, all-time great football player, Hall of Fame football player. Khalil Mack, love Khalil Mack. I've been loving Khalil Mack since he got drafted in the year that when everybody was dick riding Jadeveon Clowney, no disrespect to him, I was saying Khalil Mack out of Buffalo is that dude. That was 2014.
I remember.
That was 2014, dog.
Yeah.
It's 2014, dog. We're talking about the same draft class that produced Aaron Donald. Matter of fact, it's before that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, probably before that, because I think Aaron Donald was 26, whatever. Or 2011. I think it was whatever it was. It was a long time. It was a long time ago. How is he still the 15th best free agent in 2026, dog? Crazy. Travis Etienne, good player. Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker had a great playoffs. Well, we got to remember the entire season. He wasn't even a number one running back. Like, you feel me?
Right. And then when you think about it, they got Charbonnet, so who knows? He might end up somewhere else.
All right, now we're getting into some better players. Kyle Pitts, respectable. Rashid Shaheed is a top 11 free agent in 2026. Rashid Shaheed. What? The number 2 receiver for the Seahawks? And if you look at the actual splits, it was JSN and everybody. Okay, all right. Maybe I'm tripping. We got Breece Hall. We got the linebacker from the Chargers. We got Malik Willis, Devin Lloyd. Alex Pierce is a top 5.
Devin Lloyd, that's a nice free agent right there. I like him. Alec Pierce, though, we're not talking. That's a number 2, man. Like, what we doing?
We got 5 real good players in this free agent class. Devin Lloyd, George Pickens, Tyler Linderbaum, Trey Henderson.
And Trey Henderson, you can argue the injury history he has.
But he's number 1 with the injury
31 years old.
He's 31 years old, has injury history, and he's just coming on as a football player. Remember that. He hasn't been an incredible dominant pass rusher his entire time. This is like something that's very recent within the last 3 or 4 years. And he's number 1. He's a fair number 1. He's an adequate number 1, but it's a reflection of him as number 1, Herbie. Me too, but I think that because everybody knows he's not a real free agent, right? Like he's not. He's not going nowhere. But that's just where we are with this free agent class, and I just think that's a reflection of the lack of true blue chip talent that has been flooding the NFL for the past couple of years, right? Like we have special years, like we did with the last year's class. I want to say, or 2 years ago, with the quarterbacks and you got the Malik Neighbors, but god dang, bro. Like even that really only make the argument for Malik Neighbors. Like Brian Thomas Jr. fell off the map. Marvin Harrison has never to this point has not lived up to expectations. Like
people still blame Kyler Murray for this, man, even though Jacoby Brissett.
Facts. Because when Jacoby Brissett plays, Michael Williams goes off. When Marvin Harrison is not in the lineup, Michael Williams gets 100 yards again. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. It just speaks to the lack of true blue chip talent that is permeating through these drafts, and it's reflecting in this free agency. So I just wanted to address that, man. It's rough out here, my boy. It's rough. But speaking of the draft, that takes me to my next point. So, Rob, man, I wanted to talk about the wide receivers in this draft. And the reason why I wanted to talk about the wide receivers of the draft, because it directly connects to what I was just saying on our last discussion post, which is the NFL media that is in lockstep with all of the networks, because the NFL pays all the bills for all of these people. You are incentivized to lift up certain players, hype up certain players, because you need to sell these certain players, right? You need to sell the idea that these guys are superstars when in reality they are not. And nothing is more indicative of that than this wide receiver class. And that's not to say that any of these guys can't be a superstar. We see it every year. Every draft has somebody that just comes out of nowhere, right? Like if you really want to do it, like we've done it plenty of times where we talked about the draft and who was actually the best wide receiver in that draft. Rarely is it the first wide receiver taken. Rarely is it the second wide receiver taken. Usually some dude in the second round, right? Like AJ Brown. Hollywood Brown got drafted before AJ Brown. That sounds ridiculous, right? It happened. Right. It happened, right? So Justin Jefferson was the 5th wide receiver taken in his draft. 5th. He got drafted after Jalen Reagor. That sounds crazy, right? It happens. But with this draft, I've never seen them lie this bad, Rod. I've never seen them lie this bad about these wide receivers, dog. Like and I'm talking about 3 people in general. So there's gonna be some guys I don't want to go all over the place, right? I'm talking about 3 people in general: Cardell Tate, Jordan Tyson, and Mekhi Lennon. I have Jordan Tyson here, I have Cardell Tate here, and I have Mekhi Lennon down here. And I'm not saying that none of these guys could not be great. It's not about where you get drafted. Puka Nacua was a 5th round pick, guys. Anybody could be great. Anybody could be great. Anybody could outperform their draft position. However, what I'm saying is that outside of Jordan Tyson, in my opinion, these guys should not be 1st round picks. And they're talking about these guys going in the top 15 and Cardell Tate and Mekhi Lennon. What are y'all talking? Stop lying to me, dog. Stop lying to me, dog.
Stop lying to me.
Please, I'm begging y'all to stop lying to me, bro, because I'm going to go ahead and address each person one by one, right? So I'm going to start with Cardell Tate. Cardell Tate right now is the consensus number one wide receiver on the draft board. The guy that's projected to go first out of the big 3 per se, and projected to be a top 10 pick. The first time I heard, because I've been listening to a lot of draft prospects, draft content, draft podcasts, all that, right? You know what they say about Cardell Tate? The consensus, what they are saying, the people who are telling you he's a top 10 pick, that he's going to be a good number 2 wide receiver. Get the F out of here. We drafted number 2 wide receivers in the top 10? Since when?
Since when?
What? Since when?
Sense, bro. How does that even make sense, bro? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Since when are we drafting number 2 wide receivers in the top 10? And again, you could be a dominant number 2 wide receiver. We see that with T. Higgins. We see that with Devontae Smith at times, right? But Devontae Smith didn't start really becoming a true threat until A.J. Brown was there to take away the coverage. So Devontae Smith's job is way easier. Before A.J. Brown, it's been so long. I think he only was by himself for 1 year, so you don't remember it. But Devontae Smith wasn't dominant until A.J. Brown got there to take away coverage and make his life easier. Right. I'm drafting Cardell Tate to be a number 2 wide receiver? Huh? And if you watch Cardell Tate, he looks like a number 2 wide receiver. Again, he could be great. He does everything well. He's very smooth. He's very slick. He has an incredible catch radius. He has an incredible ability to catch in traffic. I think he has one of the highest catch in traffic grades that PFF has ever graded.
He's a contested catch master.
He's a contested catch master, just like Devontae Smith. Yeah. This is no shade to him, but he doesn't leap off the screen at all, right? You got to think about this. He plays with Jeremiah Smith, who is the next quote-unquote generation of talent at wide receiver. Right. They're focused on Jeremiah Smith. He's benefiting. And again, that's how Ohio State is. So if he didn't play for Ohio State, I would be way more down on him. But I've seen JSN come from that school and not be the number 1 receiver and be a dominant football player. I've seen Chris Olave come from that school, not be number 1 wide receiver at Ohio State and be dominant. So he could be next in line. But it's just, I don't ever want to hear, he could be a great number 2 receiver. That's where I projected him, and you're dropping him in the top 10. That's crazy. Next, I want to talk about Mekhi Lemon. Mekhi Lemon has no business being a first round pick. What are we doing?
I'll be honest, Herbie. I would if I'm ranking him, I'll take Boston over him. Denzel.
Yeah, I'll take Denzel Boston over too. And again, take him over him. If you're telling me that you know he could only be a slot receiver, and based off of his size and based off of the lack of actual speed, he can only be a slot receiver. He's 5'11", 190. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. That 5'11", it's a Kyler Murray 5'10", because he looks 5'8".
He's like 5'9". He's like 5'9" for real though, bro. He ain't no fucking 5'11". I'm 5'11".
Yes, you're 5'11". I've stood next to you. I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7", and I'm 5'8" on a good day. I'm 5'7" and 3/4. So if you want to give me 5'8", I'm taking it. On my Tinder, I'm 5'8". He's a Tinder 5'8". He's a Black Planet. If you know Black Planet, just some old school shit. He's a Black Planet 5'11".
Craigslist casual encounters, baby.
He's a Hinge 5'11". He's a Hinge 5'11". He's a dating profile 5'11", because he looks 5'7" on film. He looks so small. And again, I'm waiting for the combine. We're gonna get his official measurements, because like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is legitimately 5'10". It's the shortest 5'10" in the history of ever. But he's legitimately 5'10". He just looks like he's 5'7". It's the craziest thing in the world. That might be the same thing with Mekhi Lemon. I could be wrong. I'll wait for the combine. But he looks smaller than his actual measurements as far as his height. He does not have long arms. So I have a not long-armed, potentially shorter than 5'11" guy that could only play in the slot because he's projected to run a 4.5. Why is he going to go into the top 15? And again, as a football player, there's a lot to like about Mekhi Lemon. He's awesome. He's a dog. Sure. Yeah. He's a dog. This is not about him, his football character, nothing. Again, Mekhi Lemon could go out and be a great football player. He could be Steve Smith. I'm just saying we don't normally draft somebody like him in the first round, let alone in the top 15. This is more a reflection of how bad this draft is. Because if I put Mekhi Lemon in any great wide receiver draft, he's in the third round.
True Blazer. That boy said not Black Planet.
Hey, man, true. Black Planet. Hey, boy, I had some Queen. I was old school Black Planet where you had to make your own page. When we were still coding for ourselves, they had to, had to work that HTML. You feel me? My Black Planet was going crazy, true. My Black Planet was a woo. Don't let me get on the hotline. Don't let me take it back to the hotline days now. What? Okay. All right.
Days. Hey, you bringing me back too much. Dude.
Nah, facts. And this leads me to my last person. Oh, Magente, bruh. You were free. True, you was a freaky frog in your prime. You was a freaky frog. You was a freaky frog in your prime. You was a freaky frog. Hey, man, round of applause for Magente. True Blazer, man.
Oh, shit.
All right, and that brings me to the last person I want to talk about, and that's Jordan Tyson. And Jordan Tyson, I'm going to just say this. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm blind. I don't know what these other guys are seeing. But when I see Jordan Tyson, I actually see a star. To me, he's the only guy that should go in the first round. Yeah. This is going to, and again, I'm not saying he's as good as this person, but the first thing I saw when I watched Jordan Tyson, and I'll say this, I watched all of these dudes. I watched cut-ups. I watched draft profiles, and I watched everything with the sound off. I didn't let anybody color my opinion. I just watched the film, right? And I didn't hear anything. I didn't want to hear nothing. I just wanted to make my own opinion. And I didn't want no outside noise saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. That was irrelevant. When I watched him with the sound off, based off of the scouting profiles I seen, I said, this is OBJ. This is Odell Beckham Jr. Mm-hmm. The fluidity, the speed, the suddenness, the ability to catch everything. Just that natural football athletic ability to where you just always have balance, right? Like you ever just see guys who are just so good at football where they just naturally know how to control their body and do and stay in bounds or just get their feet down.
Natural contortionist, bro. Like
just a natural contortionist. And it's just like, and he's a great route runner. So I'm just like, what? I get it. If it's about the injuries and you want to have somebody ahead of him because of the injuries, cool. But if we're just talking about in a vacuum, what are we talking about? And I know you liked him, Jordan, Rod. I know you like Jordan Tyson because we were going to talk about him on last week's episode. So go ahead and talk about Jordan Tyson real quick.
No, I mean you pretty much kind of spilled the beans on the things I liked about him, right? Like when you talk about the explosiveness that he has, the route running, his ability to catch, and when you consider the fact that when he was coming into college, Herbie, he wasn't even a highly touted recruit, right? Like this is a guy who has built himself up in college and really kind of unleashed his own potential. So when I was looking at film of him, looking at potential first round guys, considering his injury history, I figured now that we lost Tyreek, there is a chance he could fall to us. And I don't know exactly what Eric Sullivan. There's been talk about John Eric Sullivan maybe trading down to try to acquire some more picks. So we'll see what happens with that. But if Jordan Tyson is available on the board, I mean, we drafted, I'm not upset. I'm not upset, even though the Dolphins do have a history of drafting or signing guys with injury histories. I think he's a guy. I think he's a guy that I would be okay with signing, especially knowing he'll be healthy coming into the season.
Right. So the one thing. So when we were doing this, I was like, I wanted to ask you this specifically because I know you liked him, and I wanted to get your opinion. Do you think it would be some redundancy with him and Jalen Waddle?
That's the only negative to it, Herbie. When I think about a receiver to pair with Waddle, him and Waddle are he's pretty much the same type of receiver we've been drafting. Right? Yeah. A guy who doesn't have a lot of size, not the biggest of frame, and a guy who is really quick. He's speedy, he's quick, he's sudden. But that would be the only pushback, Herbie, right? Is that we would have the same situation we had when we had Tyreek and Waddle together. Two speedy guys and no. I think that's why if we end up drafting a guy, Herbie, I would prefer someone who has more size, more of a possession type of receiver. Someone who can go up and win, kind of like Carnell Tate, to be honest. But I don't think, given all the hype that Carnell Tate has, I don't think he's falling out of the top 10. I don't even think he's a top 10 receiver. I mean, I don't even think he's a top 10 pick, But, with all the hype, I don't think he's falling out of the top 10. But he would fit what the Dolphins need, in my opinion, more than Jordan Tyson. But when I was ranking my wide receivers, my top three were Tyson, Tate, and Boston. So
yeah, I'm with you. And before we go through, I want to go ahead and just basically get an idea of what the drafts are. So this is from ESPN. This is just the top 5 from everybody that they have on ESPN, bro. So I got it right here. And we'll go through. This is all the wide receivers. This is Mel Kiper. He has Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon, Boston, Malachi Fields. This is Mike Miller. He has Mekhi Lemon. All right. Man.
What?
All right, dog. All right, dog. Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Minch, Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, David Boston, Mekhi Lemon, Eric Reed, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lennon, Jordan Tyson, and Phil Yates, Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lennon. So that's basically where it is. It's a bunch of people. It's the top 3. That's been the consensus. And the likelihood is somebody not named one of these 3 guys is actually going to be the best wide receiver in the class. And that's the most annoying part of this. That's the funny part. That's the funny part, man.
So fuck on being KC Concepcion.
Right. So, all right, man, let's go ahead and close out the show. We got 2 things. We're going to go ahead and get a couple of your round 2 guys, and then we're going to blitz through that Floyd Mayweather nonsense, but god damn, dog. All right, Rod, who are your Dolphin targets that you like going into round 2? The guys that you think we could get in round 2 or 3, brother.
So, since we've kind of run a lot longer than I thought we were going to run, I'm on.
Or if you want to save it for next week, there ain't no rush, bro. It's up to you.
You know what? Yeah, let's do that. And you know what I'll do? I'll combine the 2nd and 3rd round guys.
Okay. All right, cool. So, all right.
All
right, bet. So let's do this, man. Let's talk about this. Rod. So, God. Okay. I have fallen back in love with boxing. And guys, we're talking about the Floyd Mayweather. It was announced that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are going to have the saddest rematch in the history of boxing.
Saddest.
That is where this conversation goes before we close out the show. But I will say this. I, as somebody who fell in love with boxing a long time ago, Rod is actually the person that made me a boxing fan. We're going back to Roy Jones. We're going back to peak Floyd Mayweather when he was at 140, 06, 05, 07, right? When he was fighting Arturo Gotti and all of these guys, right? Then I fell out of love with boxing. I became a UFC fan for a long time. And within the past 2 or 3 years, I've fallen in love with boxing again. And as somebody who's fallen in love with boxing again, and as somebody who is seeing that this is the best that boxing has been in quite some time, it truly infuriates me that more people are more interested in watching Jake Paul fight an old Mike Tyson than people want to watch Shakur Stevenson against a Teofimo Lopez or a Ryan Garcia against a Mario Barrios. Like this fight, I'm seeing people, like a bunch of people on my Facebook are sharing this, like, oh, I can't, oh, who got the wings? Who going, oh, where the watch party at? And I'm like, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer because people are interested in what they're interested in.
Bro, we have to stop these rehashes, man.
Forget the rehash. Forget the rehash. This is freak show. We have to stop watching freak shows.
Yep.
Floyd Mayweather is 49, dog.
Bro.
I think if Floyd is 49, that means that Manny would be, what, 53? Yep. If I'm not mistaken?
Bro, this is literally a glorified bum fight.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Manny is younger. He's 47. It is a 49-year-old fighting a 47-year-old. And the 49-year-old hasn't boxed in like 7 years.
Drunk uncle boxing. In a world where we have Usyk, in a world where we have Inoue Naoya, in a world where we have a guy like Jesse Rodriguez or Devin Haney or Canelo, this is what gets all the hype. This is what gets all the hype, bro.
Floyd last official pro fight was August 26th, 2017 when he fought Conor McGregor.
I remember that. We went to a house party. We went to a party for that.
He's 49 years old. He has not boxed in 9 years. He's had a couple of exhibitions. You feel me? He fought one of the Gotti sons or whatever nonsense. He's fought a couple dudes. One of the
Paul brothers, right?
One of the Paul brothers. He's fought in, I think, Japan a couple times. But even in the last fight against one of the Asian fighters, he looks old and flabby because he's supposed to. He's supposed to. And
Floyd needs some money, bro. That's what it got to be.
Like, forget the money. Like, this is more to do without, because originally it was supposed to be, it was supposed to be a bigger freak show, guys. It was supposed to be Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't know? What? You didn't know that?
No.
Like, that was set in stone. That's why everybody's so confused, because as of today, officially, or I should say yesterday, it was official. It was supposed to be Floyd versus Mike Tyson. What I think happened is there was probably some negotiations going on, and because Netflix understands that this is such good business with all the Jake Paul fights, you feel me? Because the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, this shit did 100 million views. The Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, I think it did 40 million views or something like that. They understand it's great business. So what I think happened is, because I think the flight with Floyd and Mayweather was going to be on their own accord, and they were like, you know what? We got a bigger bag for you. What about if you fight Manny Pacquiao? And they probably just did it. Because I'm telling you, it was, as of yesterday, it was supposed to be Floyd versus Mayweather. I thought it was a fake gift. You know how people just make posters?
Right.
And then I saw it said Netflix, and I'm like, that can't be from the official Netflix account. And I went on the official Netflix Facebook account, and I saw it, and my mouth dropped.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
I mean, whether they
on Facebook, I couldn't believe it, bro.
Hey, listen, whether they're all fixed or not, that mouth that wasn't fixed. That it has some screws.
Was so satisfying too. It was so satisfying.
But again, dog, if you want to watch it, go for it. I just wish people would watch actual boxing as well. Like, I would be more cool with this if it was an actual gateway to people saying, you know what, dang, this is actually entertaining. Let me watch actual great boxing. Right. Versus let me just be entertained by things that are not going to be entertaining. I was shocked at how much people were mad at the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. I'm like, what did you expect? What did you expect? What did you think was going to happen? He's 60.
You have a legendary has-been at this point, and then a Paul brother. Like, you're not getting boxing at its peak. You're not getting actual sweet science.
Why do y'all want to keep getting duped? That's the part that be blowing my mind, bro. I get it. It's a no investment thing, or you're only investing time. You don't have to pay for a pay-per-view. It comes with a Netflix subscription. I understand. Hey, whatever. A lot of people ain't really got that much to do on a Saturday. Whatever, I'll just go to Publix or whatever place you get your wings from and just turn it on. It's on. I get it. It's very easy to watch. But goodness gracious, dog. More people watch Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson and Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua on Netflix than they watch Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez.
Imagine, bro.
A real boxing match. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson did 100 million views. Terrence Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez did 36.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
Dog, we're not doing this right, man. We're not doing this right.
But you know what kills me, Herbie, is the fact that it's just like the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. And some people might not be aware of this, like some of the younger people.
Yeah,
but Herbie, you and I were young people.
We were of age at the height. We literally were the perfect age for it. It was 25.
Like we were entering adulthood when these guys were supposed to fight the first time.
Yeah,
right. Like back when they were in their primes. Back when Manny Pacquiao was pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. Back when people thought Floyd was dodging Manny. Looking back, and when you look back on history, even though I wanted Floyd to lose back then, Herbie, I think Floyd, if they fought at their primes, I think Floyd still wins. Right?
I think Floyd still wins it. I think he wins decisively, right? Yeah. But they already fought. It was already decided. Like, this is the other crazy part. You already seen it.
Right. And you didn't even get Herbie. You already seen it, and you didn't even get the best version of it, bro. You seen it, and you didn't even get the version you were supposed to get. And now we're getting what? We're getting the Dollar Tree version of a rematch? A freaking Dollar Tree drunk uncle backyard fight? Like, Bruh. Who wants to see it? Even if, Herbie, let me tell you something. The only thing I can say is, Herbie, the only people who are really looking forward to this is that group of people who hates Floyd so much that they've just been dying to see him lose. And even then, this old version of Manny Pacquiao ain't gonna do shit. He's not gonna do anything. So you're gonna be waiting to see old Floyd dropping. It's not gonna happen. Like, no, man.
Dog,
this is blasphemous, right here. This is blasphemous.
100%. There's nothing. I can't top that, bro. That's a hell of a dismount, man. And with that, man, I want to go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and close out this show. Thank you again. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Happy Evelyn, for the subscribe. Thank you, True Blazer, for always rocking with us. Thank you to everybody who is here with us for the entirety. I'm hoping you had an awesome time with us. This was an awesome time for you guys, and we had an awesome show. And we cannot wait to see you guys next week for the PHIN Outta Water off-season series. Deuces.
Deuces.